All right. Being mindful of everyone's time, I'm going to get started. Just a fair warning, we do record these for our YouTube, so if you are not comfortable being on camera, just keep your camera off. Um, and yeah, thank you all for being here. Give me one moment so I can read my notes. All right. I want to welcome everybody to our Energizing Efficiency webinar. Again, we appreciate everyone taking the time out of their snow day today. My name is Lucy Carr. I am the Communications and Events Manager for the Virginia Energy Efficiency Council. Assisting today, we have my colleague Rebecca hanging out in the chat. If you have any questions or technical concerns, please type them there. We have a really great lineup of speakers today who will provide some insights into the creation of our Energizing Efficiency campaign and discuss our past participants' incredible project successes. So let's get started. Real quick, just some housekeeping technical guides. If for any reason you are unable to see us or hear us, please use our cute little circle aids. And again, Rebecca is available in the chat. If for any reason those aren't working, you might have to give Zoom permission to access your camera and video. Just raise your hand or put anything in the chat if you're having issues, and Rebecca and I should be able to help you out. Good? All right. So, quick agenda for today. We're going to tell you who we are and why we're hosting this awesome webinar. We have a history lesson of the campaign presented by Jessica Green. Then we're moving into Henrico County Lead Libraries presented by Sam Hudson. And then we have Unlocking Tangier Island's Energy Efficiency presented by Brian Burris. And then we do have an open forum Q&A at the end where you'll be able to type your questions or just raise your hand and we'll call on you. All right. Who are we? We are the Virginia Energy Efficiency Council. We're the voice of energy efficiency in Virginia. We have a broad coalition of over 100 members dedicated to advancing energy efficiencies initiative within the Commonwealth. Our vision is to make energy efficiency a core component of Virginia's economy and clean energy future. We have 5 committees in policy, technology, education and events, workforce, and membership, all focused on EE improvements and advocacy. Should you have any questions or want more details, you can visit our website, vaeec.org, for more information. All right, so purpose of this awesome webinar, celebrating EE success stories, of course, but we also officially opened our submissions for our 2025 Energizing Efficiency campaign. We're really excited about this. We have a handy QR code that will take you to our webpage that will discuss anything and everything you could possibly want to know. And we also have a wonderful speaker who will detail more information about that as we move forward. All right, we have a great lineup of speakers today. We'll learn more about them individually in a bit, but just real quick, we want to give a big thank you to Jessica Green from Virginia Energy, Sam Hudson from Henrico County, and Brian Burris from Project Homes. They will be on our little panel today discussing their projects and our campaign. All right, moving right along to our campaign history, who will be presented by Jessica Green. Jessica is the Energy Outreach Coordinator for the Virginia Department of Energy. She manages the Virginia Efficiency and Conservation Block Grants Program. She is the former Director of Events and Digital Media at VAEEC. with an extensive background in environmental policy, consulting, and advocacy. And she has worked on several state and federal clean energy campaigns. And she's going to be discussing our Energizing Efficiency campaign history. So I'm going to pass it off to you, Jess. And just please let me know if you need a slide to move forward faster.
Sounds good. Thank you, Lucy. Hello, everyone. Good to see so many familiar faces. For those who don't know, as Lucy said, I'm Jessica Green. I'm the Energy Outreach Coordinator with the Virginia Department of Energy. You might hear me refer to VAEC as we a lot out of old habit. So that will be a past we. But yeah, I'm excited to share a little bit about what the organization, the decisions that went behind starting the Energizing Efficiency campaign, and what you can expect this year. So don't mind going to the next slide, Lucy. Thank you. So just a little bit about me. As Energy Outreach Coordinator, I oversee Virginia Energy's Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program, or ECBGs. This includes developing and launching our one-stop shop, which you'll hear a little bit more about later this year, as well as awarding local governments with sub-grants for marketing, education, and outreach for energy efficiency and conservation programs. Additionally, Virginia Energy has long recognized the value of energy efficiency by offering and supporting longstanding programs like energy savings performance contracting, commercial property assessed clean energy, and demand response. These programs have been recognized by the Virginia Energy Efficiency Council multiple times during the past Virginia Energy Efficiency Leadership Awards. And then some new programs that we're currently, that we've recently launched or will be launching soon include our energy efficiency and conservation subgrants for eligible localities. Anyone who's interested in learning more about those, the due date is actually this Friday, but we can work with you on an extension. And then, like I said, we have our one-stop shop for energy efficiency, renewable energy, and electric vehicle programs coming up, as well as energy efficiency workforce, our clean energy innovation bank and revolving loan program, and grid reliability improvement. Next slide. All right, so the leadership awards were launched in 2016 at the recommendation of then Governor McAuliffe's Executive Committee on Energy Efficiency to showcase how energy efficiency champions across the Commonwealth are helping businesses, governments, homeowners, and schools save money on energy bills, reduce energy consumption, and stimulate job growth and our economy. These are the innovative programs and projects that go above and beyond the norm and show true leadership in their fields. As the years went by, we realized that we actually wanted to highlight all of the projects and programs that were being submitted and not just the few with the highest scores. So in 2023, we launched the Energizing Efficiency Campaign. The campaign shows the importance of energy efficiency, no matter how small the project or program or what sector it represents. So long as it takes place in Virginia, we want to tell the story. Sharing our energy efficiency successes helps VAEC make the case for energy efficiency when talking with decision makers. It also helps inspire others to implement similar projects and programs by sharing results and best practices. Next slide. So here's a little bit about how the campaign compares to the awards. For both, you do not have to be a VAEC member to participate. However, your business does, and your business does not have to be headquartered in Virginia, but the project or program must be. And the project and program must be completed. There should be quantifiable results, and that can either be demonstrated as actual or projected energy savings, or the effects of outreach, such as the number of homes served. So for the campaign in particular, all submissions, as long as they meet those eligibility requirements, can be included. For the awards, however, it is a competitive process. So if you submit your application to be a part of the campaign, you'll be rolled into the competitive process for the leadership awards, where all submissions are evaluated by the selection committee using a scorecard. And this is where we're looking for the submissions that are innovative, go above and beyond the norm, and have a considerable impact. For the campaign, If you choose to participate, you get a spotlight on the campaign webpage, featured post on the AEC social media platforms, publicity in the e-newsletters, which go out to 1,400 plus subscribers, project and program summary turned into a case study, and you're automatically nominated for the awards. And you get the project or program name will be included at the Energy Efficiency Forum. If you are selected for a leadership award, you get all of those same benefits, plus your summary featured in the Energy Efficiency Forum program and highlighted during the award ceremony, the opportunity to provide remarks during the ceremony, and you receive a glass award and digital badge. And then your leadership award project program will be featured on the website, in the e-newsletter, and on social media. Next slide. So I believe this is my last one, but just to give you a bit of an idea of who past participants have been. No matter what sector you represent, your story is worth sharing. And so we have included K through 12 schools and colleges and universities, local governments and state agencies, weatherization and utility providers, architects, museums, nonprofits, and small businesses all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. So I highly encourage anyone working on energy efficiency in Virginia to participate in this year's campaign. I know Virginia Energy is looking to apply for several of our programs. And so I'm just looking forward to seeing all the great projects and programs that are helping accelerate energy efficiency across the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jess. And we're gonna move right along. Yes, I'm really excited about this campaign. So we will have a Q&A session at the end if you have additional questions. But I personally really enjoy making the case studies. So please give me something to make. All right, next up we have Henrico Lead Libraries presented by Sam Hudson. Sam is the Sustainability Division Director for Henrico County. She oversees county-wide sustainability efforts, including the Energy Program and HEART Initiative. She is the former Assistant Division Director for Planning and Real Estate at Fairfax County Park Authority, where she and her team managed over 23,000 acres of parkland, She has nearly a decade of experience in land use and sustainability, and she's here to discuss the incredible lead libraries in Henrico counties. I'm sorry, Sam. Take it away, and please just let me know if any slides aren't going the way they should.
Okay, thanks so much, Lucy, for the introduction. And hi, everyone. Uh, I'm Sam Hudson. As Lucy shared, I am the Henrico County Sustainability Division Director. I'm very excited to share with you all today really a showcase of one of Henrico County's more recent lead projects, which is Fairfield area library on the east end of Henrico. I will also share that Henrico County offices are closed today. So I am flying a little bit blind without my notes, presenting from home. So I'm just gonna caveat the presentation with that as we jump in. Next slide, please. So the Fairfield Area Library, our project team and the project owner is the Henrico County Public Library. Quinn Evans was our architects. Gulf Seaboard was the contractor. VHB, the civil engineer. DMWPV, the structural engineer. Ascent Engineering, doing the MEP, and then SETI and Associates and Sustainable Design Consulting. So we really had a rock star team. The Fairfield Area Library was certified as LEED Gold in 2021. And the building itself is about twice the size of its original footprint at 45,000 square feet. Next slide. And for any of you who are familiar with Henrico County, the Fairfield Area Library is sort of on the east central um, part of the county. The main crossroads are Laburnum and Creighton Court, or Creighton, excuse me. And we are sort of clustered around several other county government buildings. Across the street, there is the Eastern Rec Center, as well as our one of our Henrico County Public Health buildings and the YMCA. So lots of civic activity happening right in this node. Next slide. And so the project goals for this project, just starting with our Henrico County Public Library goals, which is to promote lifelong learning, connect people to information, and enrich life. Um, and the project was intended to replace the former 1976 library building. Also, it serves as sort of a community hub and connecting the community and public transportation. It was designed, of course, as LEED and designed in order to minimize the environmental impact. And one of the aspects of our county government that we take great pride in is maintaining trust as good stewards of both the environment and our county tax dollars. Next slide. And so I personally find the building just, I think it's beautiful. It is actually one of my favorite buildings in the Henrico County portfolio. I've been with the county just for under a year, so still more to explore, but it is just really quite the captivating space. It has many multi-purpose and multi-use spaces, including what's shown on this slide. There is a sort of lab, kitchen, classroom area, as well as a really beautiful teaching classroom. Next slide. And as I've mentioned, really the project was aiming to sort of expand and synergize around the civic services that are on the east side of the county, with all of those other county services really co-located in this area. And the programs within the architecture and held in the spaces were really inspired by intersecting philosophies, W.E.B. Du Bois with the academic learning, and then Booker T. Washington with life skills and trades. And the spaces are designed to be functional and inspiring for all ages. Next slide. And again, this is one of the main areas in the library that is designed with a whole variety of different seating, and then beautiful lighting and architectural features throughout. Next slide. And again, it's designed for people of all ages. On the left, you can see that there are spaces for very, very little kids and parents to bring their little kids to the library. And then there is a dedicated space for teens, and then also dedicated computer center for folks who may be looking for jobs or just needing to come in and have a space to work. Next slide. And so the LEED strategy, the goal was to achieve LEED Silver, and the project was aiming to lower the energy use intensity of the county's building portfolio. It was very much focused on improving and providing superior occupant comfort and indoor air quality. It was designed to provide for ample outdoor gathering space, and there are green features that are quite visible. In many of the pictures that you've seen, there's stormwater management features surrounding the library facility outdoors, and then also the use of rapidly renewable materials and lots of daylight and beautiful views. Next slide. And so this is just a picture from the exterior, of course, of the building where you can see essentially floor to ceiling windows taking advantage of the natural light. And also you can see in the foreground of this picture some of the stormwater management features that were incorporated into the landscaping. Next slide. And just in terms of the performance, so the lead energy model predicted that 50% predicted 50% energy use and cost reduction over the baseline. And the actual energy use intensity averages around 70. The former 1976 library EUI was 95, and the CBECS average for public assembly is 86. And so we essentially doubled the square footage and building size, and doubled the number of patrons that the building can accommodate with significantly less energy use intensity. Next slide. And just in terms of how the Fairfield Area Library ranks among our other, I think it's 9 county libraries. So you'll see the Fairfield Area Library is the second from the bottom. And I don't have the square footages of these facilities handy to speak to that as a point of comparison. But I will say that we are quite proud of where the Fairfield Area Library is coming in. Next slide. And then we also, in the last year, have operationalized a renewable solar system on this library as well. And the system was designed to offset almost 80% of the energy use in the building. And also in my notes that I don't have handy is some data on how we are doing in terms of achieving what the design intent was for this. Next slide. And that is all I have to share with you all today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sam. I live right by the Libby Mill Library. I highly recommend if nobody has been to any of the Henrico County libraries, like go. They're so awesome. I moved from a place that didn't have like a large system of libraries, so it's been incredible.
Also, if you were fortunate enough to attend the spring forum last year, we had a tour of the Fairfield Library with Quinn Evans, the architect firm, or a couple of representatives from Quinn Evans. And that building is so gorgeous. It is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful building. The features that they were able to put in are just really, really spectacular. Also, if you check out the chat, I've linked the website for Henrico County Public Libraries so you can figure out which one might be closest to you.
Awesome. Yes, please support your local libraries. It's incredibly important. All right. Moving right along, we have Brian Burse presenting Tangier Island and the wonderful work that Project Homes is doing there. Brian is the Vice President of Energy Conservation for Project Homes. They work with federal, state, and local partners to implement weatherization and utility programs. They specialize in assisting low to moderate income properties across central and eastern Virginia. He is also a former HERS rater, BPI instructor, and technical monitor for Virginia's weatherization network. And he's going to discuss the awesome work that they're doing on the island. Brian, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm here. Thanks, Lucy. Great introduction. I'm the opposite. I came to the office today and nobody's here. So I have 3 kids at home and they've probably been in school for 2 weeks since Christmas. So I thought this was the best place for me today. So really great stuff going on. I want to share with you a little bit about Tangier Island. So Tangier Island, kind of a unique situation, and I'm always blown away at how many folks that live in Virginia still don't know about Tangier. Um, it's a small little island located 12 miles out in the Chesapeake Bay. There's about 400 people that live there year round. That number has been dwindling over the years. It's mainly a fishing community. That's mainly where folks have made their living on the island for the last century or so. And a lot of folks, they've seen a big migration of folks to the mainland for different, opportunities, lack of opportunities. So Tangier Island, a very unique situation. As far as weatherizing Tangier, this conversation probably goes back about 15 years with how can we do this? So two things kind of spurred this project in the last year. The first one being we had a local grad student. I'm going to shout out to Ben Wong. I know he's not on the call, but he was pretty impactful in bringing to our attention this the Community Energy Innovation Prize for Disadvantaged Communities through DOE, and said, "Hey, I want to help you go after this. Is there something that might fit the bill?" We thought about it for a little bit and go, "Hey, this might be a perfect fit for Tangier." So that was sort of the catalyst in, hey, how can we use this unrestricted funds to help get this project completed? The other thing that was happening at the same time, we have had a really fruitful relationship with ODEC and A&N, the electrical provider for the island. And they are redoing the fuel dock, which means, unfortunately, they will be losing kerosene to the island. So that sort of was the general catalyst for like, hey, let's get this thing going. It's a big lift. Now is probably the worst time to be trying to jump into this, but we're committed to this and we're committed to getting it done. You can go to the next slide if you want, Lucy. Perfect. And I will say we won, there's $100,000 from that prize. So unrestricted funds in our neck of the woods are very valuable because they can help us lubricate difficult jobs, keep them moving, and provide the best possible client experience for our local residents. So Tangier Island, what makes this really unique is it's just located in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay. So getting there is pretty tough. We can't just jump in a weatherization truck, audit vehicle, roll over there and batch together jobs. We actually have been working with ODEC and A&N to utilize their barge, some of their boats in their fleet to help us get over there. So they've been instrumental in helping us sort of create an onboard a ramp for doing this project. So I got to give a shout out to A&N and ODEC who have been amazing partners with this. So once you get to the island, you got to get around the island, which for the folks that have been there, the roads are very small. Everybody utilizes golf carts. So I think there's probably a half a dozen full-size vehicles on the island, but getting around, certainly getting a box truck, below vehicle, something like that over there is a challenge. So some of the other complexities of the island is this is a very underserved community. And so a lot of the housing stock is very dilapidated, very old, and in various states of disrepair. As we've said, there's been a mass migration of folks, especially younger folks, that have gone to the mainland. And so you have a population of older folks who are living in this big house. Sometimes this house might be 60, 70, 80-year-old home with deferred maintenance. So we've actually seen some seniors that have boarded up the upstairs and they haven't been up there in 10 years. So a lot of unique situations with the island. They have tidal flooding, which renders the crawl spaces and some of the weatherization work that we do there, we can't do it. The storing materials, getting materials, all of this becomes a massive logistic hurdle for doing this type of work. And the things that we take for granted as far as driving up to the job site and be able to just do the work that we do is made more difficult because of the island. Some other issues and problems that make this a challenge is a lack of contractors on the island. We have been working hard to get some more contractors to the Eastern Shore region. We've had some developments with our state partners that now allow us to utilize some of the funding for training for those contractors, where that wasn't unlocked previously when we started this. So part of our goal with this prize money was to help sustain more local contractors to be able to do this type of work and get somebody trained on the island that could assist in this work in the future. So that's actually great news for us, because now we can dedicate that 100,000 prize to getting the jobs through, and measures that wouldn't typically be paid for with these federal or formula funds. Now we could use these unrestricted funds to do those. Weatherization typically doesn't address things like egress, like stairs or front porches, maybe some structural things. So we're hoping to utilize that prize money to really flesh out our scope of work for these homes and make them really this work beneficial for the clients. So that's really great. The homes are in rough condition, so that all of a sudden means that, as opposed to an $8,000 or $10,000 weatherization job, these are now $20,000, $30,000 weatherization jobs, which require more back and forth with our state funding partners and with DOE. One of the big challenges recently over this last month have been that DOE has ceased contact with the grantee network. So we don't have a really good way right now to get clarity from those federal partners on some of these rules and how we might implement them on this project. Some other challenges that I wanted to kind of point out was we talked about the storage, the scale of repairs, the flooding tides. I pretty much nailed all of the challenges to this. Go to the next slide if you wouldn't mind, Lucy. So where we're at right now and what the plan is we're hoping to do 3 batches of work on the island. The first, we went back over in the fall, this past fall, and we conducted a site assessment and walked it with our DHCD partners. That was a really important step in this for them to understand that the work that we're going to do on the island doesn't fit in the regular weatherization box that we're all used to. And so we felt it was important as a partner to showcase to them sort of those unique issues to help us get creative on ways that we can bring weatherization to the island. So DHCD is going to be pretty clutch in this and getting this project off the ground. So we have conducted the first round of audits. We've been working through the work scopes, and I think, we're getting pretty close to getting some contractors out there to kind of start this first round. And then we will go back out. The plan is to do another round of audits, set those up, and hopefully get as many folks through this program as possible before that fuel service, those kerosene, is not available to island. So that was one of the easy things that helped direct what clients to work with first. Obviously, there's a lot of need out there. So those clients that would be impacted by the kerosene switch were the first ones that were kind of onboarding for this project. We hope to do our regular suite of weatherization services, which would be, roofs. The roofs out there are pretty poor condition. We insulating, air sealing, lighting retrofits, base load items, things to help reduce their bills. But a lot of this is going to be, we're going to have a lot of additional funds from this community prize to really address the things that are outside the normal scope of work for weatherization. So the fact that we were able to secure that extra funding is really going to be helpful for getting this project off the ground. And our biggest challenge really is just going to be like, how do we make this this island with all these unique situations fit in a very highly regulated program? So that is the challenge that we're up against. And we're happy to be a part of this. We are really excited about it. I know the clients out there are really excited about this support too. So I want to also give one more shout out to ODEC and A&N for their support. They've offered material storage for us on the island, a place to stay, if we needed to overnight. So really great partnership. We're really great to have them on board with this, and we're excited to see what comes next. I hope I can give you an update next year with all the happy clients and the work that we were able to get done with this. So I think that's all I have, and happy to field any questions.
Awesome. That segues nicely because we are to the question part. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, you can take like, if anyone was interested, you can take like a ferry out there and
Oh,
go
yeah.
have a
I
look.
would encourage you that anybody can go. They have a mailboat that goes out, and I one of the first things when we got on the boat over there was, the also culturally, I didn't point this out, but it is a very, very unique place culturally. You will notice that everybody on the island has a very unique accent. That's sort of brogue Irish, sort of. It's like stepping back in time. It's really, really neat. So I did want to point out there the uniqueness of that. They are set up for tourists. They have some bed and breakfasts. You can get some fresh crab legs. So yeah, you could take a really fun day trip to get over there. You just got to watch the weather for crossing the bay. But I did want to give a shout out for tourism that it's a really great place to go ride around a golf cart, get some ice cream, and take in the unique sights.
Awesome.
I should get paid for the Tangier tourism department.
Yeah. Well, I'll take like a spring ship trip. We'll do an energy efficiency spring Tangier Island trip. All right, we are now moving on to questions. If you're comfortable speaking, feel free to raise your hand. If not, we have the convenient chat. If you're not a social person, which is totally fine. We do also have backup questions because I know sometimes you need a little head start. I should play like the waiting music for game shows. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Nope, no worries. I have questions. Oh, just kidding. Thank you, Dave. All right. Dave is asking, what is next for the Henrico library system?
Thank you for that question, Dave. That's an excellent question. I don't believe that we actually have, or off the top of my head, I don't think that we have any projects in queue for the library system. I will also caveat that with I am relatively new to the county, so there may be projects that I'm just not aware of that are either underway or getting started.
Mm. All right. I actually have a question for you as well, Sam. Um, are you aware of any lessons that the county learned through the implementation of the lead libraries that other districts should consider when looking at other initiatives similar to this?
That's also a really wonderful question, Lucy. Thank you. I unfortunately am also going to caveat that my predecessor, Carrie Webster, was really our all-star staff person on this project, and so I'm really not all that well equipped to speak to lessons learned from the project without my notes, but that's all. Thank you.
That's fair. We appreciate you taking the time, even though you're home. Oh, Jessica asked one more for you, Sam. I'm sorry. Can you give us an update on Henrico's eco district development?
I unfortunately I'm not familiar with what the eco district development is, Jessica.
All
I've seen
good.
it referred to as that or Green City.
Yes, okay, I am familiar with Green City. However, my recollection of where things stand is kind of fuzzy. I think that phase one, or if it is in phases, might be moving forward, but I don't know a lot of the details. That's more of the folks in our planning department at Henrico County.
Mhm. Oh, Rebecca just shared a helpful article on Green City as well in the chat for those who are interested.
It's just an overview from the original purchase of the land for Green City Development. So this is more about what the plan is than any updates on where we currently stand.
All right. Sorry, moving to the chat. I have more questions coming in. All right. So we have, what kind of support did the local utilities offer? DSM/EE initiatives or rebates, other support? I'm gonna say this is for Brian, I'm guessing.
So I answer both. I would imagine the utilities will offer some sort of energy efficiency incentive or
Okay.
something to that effect to help with the new construction, like the lead situation.
Awesome. Thank you.
I can't speak to the question about Tangier contractors. So really unique situation. They do have a I'm gonna call him. I don't know the extent of his contracting status, but he is the guy on the island that has a honey-do list, and so he just goes around and he's the maintenance man for the island. So getting really the idea has been all along to get more support on the shore, because that's also part of our weatherization service territory that could also get more local presence for contractors, HVAC, plumbers, electricians, trades folks. So the idea is that if we can sustainably build a better contracting network on the shore, then we have somebody more local to be able to service those clients on the shore. So we know that this first few rounds, we're not going to be able to have that support because that mandatory training does take a significant amount of time to get somebody up to speed to be able to offer those services and participate in the network. So the idea is that, these first few rounds, as we do that, we're identifying these folks and getting them through those trainings to hopefully sustain a more local contracting presence on the shore for not only Tangier, but these other jobs that we have going out on the Eastern Shore, as opposed to bringing more mainland contractors that would batch them together. So I don't have a real number for that, but I'm always happy if there are some folks interested in those opportunities to set them up with the, what the process is to be a contractor.
Awesome. I do want to go back to make sure we're not leaving this question. For both Sam and Brian, did you receive any local utility support or incentives for your projects?
So, so we are partnered with ODEC, and basically ODEC pledges a certain amount of money for every one of our federal jobs. So when we have a weatherization job that is in a co-op's area, then they provide some monetary support to help with that job on things to either buy down certain measures that might not hit the SIR calculation, or they've been really gracious about things where if we're um, trying to make a measure work, they kind of come in and help facilitate that on the back end and kind of grease those wheels to be able to get that done. So ODEC is very supportive and has been a really great partner in the weatherization program. So anytime we do a weatherization job in that service territory or one of those co-op areas, they do pledge financial support to pair with the federal programs.
And then in terms of Henrico County projects, we would have partnered with utilities just as we would on any development project in the county. So,
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Sorry, I'm scrolling. I have a lot of screens open, y'all. Okay, I have one for all presenters. Do you feel or do you have an example of your projects encouraging other organizations or organizations to save energy in their own projects or focus on more energy efficiency projects through you leading by example?
I would say that this again, this has been like such a, let's say, pipe dream, but like this thing that always felt like it was a too big a lift for now. And I think that has been encouraging to say like, okay, we're gonna finally we're gonna do this. And it presents a lot of challenges at a time where we don't really need any more challenges. So I think that that shows to our partners and hopefully to the clients there that we haven't forgotten about them and that we are going to be resilient in this and try to get services to them because they are members of the Commonwealth and they have a right to these programs as well. They didn't they weren't there to create the programmatic rules that make where they live doing this difficult. So I think that at least internally, I know that we all kind of view this as a something that we need to do, and the creativity needed to do it, I think will spark other developments with this area and the Eastern Shore. So I'm excited about that.
Well, that's awesome and incredibly important. All right. Well, being mindful that it is a snow day and being respectful of everyone's time. Any last minute comment, questions, concerns? We really appreciate everyone engaging in the discussion and listening because we want to continue highlighting these projects moving forward, especially in 2025.
Really quick next steps. Since, as Lucy said, we are opening the Energizing Efficiency campaign today, please go to our website. As we saw, there's the QR code at the beginning of the presentation, and I'm linking it in the chat now.
Thank you.
This will take you to the Energizing Efficiency campaign page. You can go to the application, fill that out. It is very brief, it is very lovely, and share it with your network. We would like to see as many submissions as we can this year. So please take advantage of the free way to promote your project and
Yes.
program.
Sorry, I saw Jess made a great point. It's a free way to promote your project. Who doesn't love free? All right, we do have everyone's contact information listed on the thank you screen. If you have any follow-up questions, comments, concerns, please send them our way. Again, thank you, Rebecca. The whole point of this is we're opening our submissions and we really want to continue to promote awesome EE projects throughout the Commonwealth. Please send me case study stuff. It's a passion project of mine and I would love to create more awesome content for the world to read about energy efficiency. And if no one else has anything, I think that's a wrap, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for
everyone.
participating in the discussion. Please stay safe and dry and warm as we continue to, there is still snow outside and it doesn't look like it's stopping. So please stay safe.
Bye all.
Thanks, everybody.
Right. Thank you, everyone.